so hard to blend. You wonder why they hate you, yeah, yeah. You wonder why they tolerate you, yeah. You wonder why you have to be you, yeah. 'Cause you're trying too hard to blend, too hard to blend, trying too hard to blend, too hard to blend. You wonder why they spite you. No matter how hard you try, 'cause you never blend in with them, no, no. You are unique in God's eyes. Na, 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 na. Blending makes for too much time. Blending isn't good for one's health. So by the time you blend into one thing, it's time to blend into something else. Ain't it the truth? Blending takes too much of your energy. Be you for who you are. 'Cause someone wants to be like you, and they just might lose their star. Lose their star, lose their star. So now do you see how special you are? And how it's best to just be you for you. You can put away that lantern now. Live your life and true. 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 You wonder why they spite you, yeah. No matter how hard you try, 'cause you never blend in with them, no, no. You are unique in God's eyes. You live in a different world.
Hopefully y'all can hear me, and hopefully I don't sound like Optimus Prime. Hopefully I don't sound like him. My voice doesn't sound robotic. Roll out. But anyway, I hope that everybody's doing well. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to Queen Donna. It's always good to have you in the chat, in the building. Shout out to King Rico, the Sleeves, aka King Anubis. Okay? Shout out to you. I'm glad to have you in the building. It's been a long time. Listen, I understand there's some spiritual, metaphysical things going about that I'm even starting to feel a little bit more intensely in my own life, because the meditation that I just did during this whole time period or window period of the eclipse, especially towards the end, because I started off my affirmation in my meditation experience with thanks, giving thanks, right? And then I went into my visualization about what it is that I want to achieve in my life in the next 5+ years. And towards the end of the eclipse, and it was crazy because when I did this part, it started to get very dark. I'm like, okay. And again, because we're human beings, we need things outside of us to help us kind of, I guess, intensify whatever it is we're putting our energy into. Okay, so when it got darker, I got more intense with my affirmations. And what I did is that I was looking in the mirror and I was speaking to myself. And then something downloaded in my spirit, like towards the, I guess, the climax of the eclipse, if you will, because it got very, very dark. Because I'm here in Detroit, so it got very dark. I was like, okay. And it was, if it's one thing in your life that I feel is imperative above all things in life, is to always remember and never forget. And I say this all the time, but it was very affirmative for me to have that download in my spirit, which is God, source, universe, consciousness, your blessing, your breakthrough, your healing, your deliverance, whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life. And I ain't talking about from a religious standpoint, because even with some of the words that I'm saying to express, my point, our minds have been conditioned to believe it in an organized religion way, but I'm talking about in a way where you tap in, you connect with the power, the source that will never leave nor forsake you, no matter where you are in your life. That's the most important thing, is that God is in here somewhere, and that things outside of you will change in ways that you favor and in ways that you don't. But the one thing that you have ultimate control over is inside. King Rico said it all the time when it comes to my chat. All is mind, and mind is mental. Like, it's about, and even my pastor at the time when I was in organized religion, where that pastor was low-key more aware than I am now. You know, I mean, well, I feel like we kind of on the same level of awareness now because I put in the work, but at that time, he was on a greater type of awareness frequency, where he said that, first of all, God cannot be explained. It can only be revealed. That's it. That's why God is a wonder. We're talking about something unlimited, something supernatural here. Okay? But not only that, he also stated that you are not saved by what you do. You are really saved by what you believe, because what you believe inspires the action of what you do. And shout out to Queen Stevie, shout out to my bro Deshaun. They send me stuff all the time, and they kind of keep me up to date, because I know that this channel, especially in the beginning, in its inception, I've always been about queer activism and black activism. It's just activism in reference to oppressed groups of people or marginalized groups of people. And I've kind of been focusing on queer phobia for like past year and a half, almost 2 years now. And what I realized is that all I'm doing is just reporting the news and challenging the thought processes of fear, because we see what fear does. Fear manifests into fear thoughts manifest into fear actions, and then people have to deal with those fears objectively, which is very unfortunate. So my job is to try to help dilute that fear, but at the same time, for the individuals who are the quote-unquote victims of this situation, or the backlash, or the ignorance, you also have a choice to not be a victim. So I'm going to read just different types of articles and stuff that have been sent to me. We're going to talk about it a little bit. And again, I want to kind of bring this, or tie all this in, shall I say, with this whole eclipse situation and what was downloaded in my spirit to share, not only with myself, and shout out to my screen, because I'm on OBS and it's 444, so I know I'm on the right track, right path. Okay, we're going to get into that. But before we get into that, let me read the comments, because I appreciate y'all being here. Let me see. Let's see.
Rico says, this moon you're supposed to release and let go and set new intentions because we have officially shifted energies. Exactly. We hear you, but you sound like you're underwater. That's the thing. I'm trying to figure out why it's doing that. Hold on. If I were to do this, what if I were to do this? Can y'all hear me now? Do I still sound like I'm underwater? Huh? Because I've been trying to figure out how to get this mic to stop sounding like I'm under the sea. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me cut this filter off. I'm still learning this, so y'all gotta please forgive me. How about now? Do I still sound like I'm underwater? Do I still sound good? Hello, let me know. Can you let me know? I'm gonna read the comments and continue forward. Let me just cut my shit on just in case, because I don't know. We gonna see. Can y'all still hear me? Does it still sound like I'm underwater? Exactly. It's not finished yet. If anything, it's just beginning. Donna says, facts, release, recharge. Rico says, the universe is forcing people to fulfill their purpose. All is mind, and mind is mental. Like I told y'all, in all universe, you are the creator of your reality. What's up? Let's talk. I hope you're still in the building. What's going on? Say yes, it's way better. Okay, great. Wonderful. I'm low though. Sounded good, just low. Okay, girl, hold on. Let me. I gotta talk in the mic. Let me pick the mic up. Hold it in my damn hands like a damn microphone. Like I'm on stage or something. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. What's up, Deshaun? We gonna read some of your stuff that you sent me. What's up, Double R Russell? Got my guide and my hustle. Righteous and ratchet. Gentleman and jerk. Putting that faith to work. Okay, shout out to you in the building. Let go of fear. And we had an earthquake. You heard about it? Let me tell you something. I be telling y'all. This is the time to learn how to love your damn self. To hunker down and figure out who the hell you is. Because it says in the good book, right? The good book, that my people perish by the lack of knowledge. Now we're in the information age where knowledge is in overabundance. To the point to where a lot of times, a lot of people feel like, damn, I don't know what the fuck to believe anymore. But this is where your discernment is to come into play. This is the time to strengthen your spiritual faculties. And the only way you strengthen your spiritual faculties is to once, but is to how can I say this? You have to find a way to be in the world, but not of the world, which means that you have to learn how to detach yourself from the fear-based ideologies of the world. Because when you're operating in fear and you don't have any power within yourself, the next thing you're going to do is to figure out, what can I put my power into? And we live in a system that is waiting for people to do that so they can turn around and say, hey, guess what? I have the remedy for whatever's ailing you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. But instead of that stuff coming to you free of charge because God looking out for your ass, now it's, oh, you can have this, but it's going to be $19.95. And the results may vary. That's why people who support organized religion are struggling at this time. Why people who believe in the security of this system is going to have a hard time in this era. And if you don't know how to put power in yourself and actualize it in your own life, because you are the one living that unique experience. Did y'all not hear the song in the beginning of Alive? About how you are unique in God's eyes, to the point to where no matter what anybody says about you or what they think about you, it will not change the fact that you came into this bitch with one unique set of fingerprints. There is nobody else on planet Earth that has the same fingerprint as BubzDaGawd, as Rico, as Double R Russell, as Deshaun, as Donna, as anybody else that's listening to this live under the sound of my voice. It's time to live in your world instead of a different world, okay? From where you come from. But yeah, shit getting crazy. Like, the weather be changing, all type of stuff. We are entering into an era where no shade, and like in all these books that I've read, that was like from the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s that was talking about this type of shit, is that we are getting to a point in history and in reference to the universe, right? Or universes, if you will, where all eyes are on humanity. All eyes are on humanity. What are the humans going to do? Especially with all this information now. To where now we are objectively seeing that whatever you put your mind to, whatever you put your mind to, guess what? It's going to manifest. And in this age, it's going to manifest a lot faster. So in order for there to be like true, genuine change outside of ourselves, we have to start inwardly. And I've heard this saying that, you know, racism will never end, queerphobia will never end. Maybe the existence of that energy and that frequency will never be erased from this reality. But the way that bitch has a hold and a grip on people, oh, that shit's going to motherfucking change. That's gonna change. Let me continue with the chat, y'all. Let's see. Good, yes, way better. I'm just low. Wait, the water sound is back. Oh shit, okay, maybe it's this. Hold on. Maybe it's my desktop audio. How about now? Echo mode back, damn. Lord, we all upgrade. We got Harold in the building. What's going on? We felt the aftershocks, but New Jersey had a 4.8 earthquake. No, it's not the end of the world. It's the end of the false world. There are some worlds that are ending. Like the world of capitalism and profiting off of people and money over everything, that's coming to an end. But they also have the opportunity to shift and evolve as well. So it's kind of like, anyway, let me go ahead. It says it's better. Okay, great. Thank you. I had to mute my stuff. The echo is gone. Good. Because on my end, it still sounds like an echo. So what I want to do is I'm just going to read a few things that were sent to me. And yes, they're going to be queer-centered and black-centered because we are queer people of color, black people. And we still going to talk about this shit because unfortunately for a lot of people, it's the reality. And again, the social climate that we are in, baby, these conversations are going to be more important than ever. And I hope that these conversations can literally evolve and not be used as ways to garner views and shit for people's channels that when they talking about other shit, people ain't coming in. But when it's time to have a gay bashing session or a pick Misha session, it seems like everybody wants to come out of their damn caves and basements and shit, and they want to finally come and have conversations. Okay? Let me see. This one I'm going to start off is from my bro Harold. If you have been following or watching things on HBO Max or have been following individuals like T.S. Madison with Fag Talk, along with I forgot his name, the individual who's the author, Craig. They spoke on, I think his name is Gerard Carmichael, who kind of, no shade in a sense, kind of released some very like, how can I say this? And I think for me, I can somewhat honor and accept it, even though I'm quote unquote black, is because I'm used to like off-white, like cringy humor. I grew up being around drama club people, so there's a certain level of humor that I do understand because again, humor is subjective and is on a spectrum. They spoke about him falling in love with Tyler, the Creator, who has stated that he is only into white men, just how Gerard is also into white men and other men who are not black. But I guess on this new episode that he has, and I'm gonna have to open up this sparkling water, y'all, because I love sparkling water. 1 second, hold on. Sorry, y'all, I had to get that burp out. That's why I love it, baby. Good belch. But let me change my music too, since we get ready to go into it. Okay, this one. Okay, this one we gonna stop, and then we gonna play this one. Cut some more. Okay, y'all know I'm dramatic. Gonna have shit set. So, on his recent episode, and it was shared with me again, shout out to Harold, from a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, by an individual named Rashad, and it is quoted here: comedian Gerard Carmichael openly admits to his audience that he's into race play and jokes that he himself is a slave and his white boyfriend is his slave master. Excuse me. The fact that he has a platform to spew this mess makes him a danger to the black queer community. And we're going to play 2 clips, actually, audio clips, of course, where we're going to hear him admit this. Okay, so let's take a listen, shall we? First of all, let me make sure my stuff up. Hold on. My volume up, yes. Let's take a listen. Okay, girl, I'm gonna have to go on my other phone because I forgot this phone is trash as far as the audio. Give me 1 second. Lord. I'm so glad I got Instagram on this phone too, because if I didn't, I'd have been hooked up. Let me go ahead and pull it out. Okay, here we go. This should be better. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, here we go.
I came out late in life. I was like basically 30. So I'm like in gay years, I'm 17. And I want to fuck a lot of people all the time. I love the sweat and like the smell of somebody. I like fucking people post gym. Love choking, controlling your breath. That's so fucking hot. I like putting toes in my mouth. You ever do race play? I love spitting in people's mouths like a mother bird feeding her young, just from my soul. You ever like slap your dick on the side of somebody's face? People always say like, try new experiences, and then they also say you have a sex addiction. And I'm like, which one is it?
Hopefully y'all can hear that. That's a lot this is gonna go. Here's the other clip.
I sometimes joke to him that like our relationship is like that of like a slave and the master's son who like teaches me how to read by candlelight. Yeah, he groans too because he's a good person. He doesn't like that fucking joke. I like that joke. That's my burden. I think that shit's hilarious. Yes, sir. Marie Antoinette, sir? I don't know what that is. Yeah, that's a joke. That's for me.
Okay. Okay, we don't need to hear it again. Thank you. Okay. Here's my response to this. I think that does open up doors to have conversations that a lot of people who are black have experienced some sort of racism, especially when it comes down to dating. in romance, no shade, because even with me, I attracted two individuals in my life in the past that I was dating who have openly stated to me that they have only been into white men, and I was like, okay, so why are you even talking to me? And in a sense, they were kind of doing what a lot of unfortunate white men do to a lot of other black gay men, is fetishize them in a sexual way. I'll be with you sexually. I'll do all these sexual things with you, but as far as you being on my arm, as far as you being introduced to my family members and friends, as far as you being open and public in my life in reference to my partner or my lover, hell no. And I had a conversation with someone in my inner circle a few days ago about the whole situation dealing with Tyler the Creator and Gerard Carmichael, where, and I think someone sent me something as well, and I'm seeing if I can find it as well, in reference to, well, why don't both Gerard and Tyler just get in a relationship and become a power couple, a black power couple? Because when we look in Hollywood and we look at a lot of successful black queer men, 9 times out of 10, they're always with someone who is not black. And in a sense, a part of me can understand why, because for maybe some of those black people, they didn't feel like they were black enough. Look at Gerard Carmichael's comedy. That ain't nigga comedy. That ain't Cat Williams knee slapping comedy. But because I've also went to a high school that was predominantly white, I was able to understand certain things and develop some sort of comedic understanding of some of their humor. So when you have these successful black men wanting to be with other black men, a lot of times there is pain and hurt there. Because to my inner circle friends' point, when you look at the situation where Gerard was literally bleeding his heart out to Tyler the Creator, the way that Tyler handled the situation is unfortunately a lot of ways that men, especially black men, even if they're straight or queer, handle those type of situations. There's no emotional awareness. There's no emotional intelligence. So if I can't get this emotional awareness or intelligence from my own people, I'm not going to wait, just like how black people waiting for white people to literally bring forth reconciliation when it comes down to what their forefathers done and how they still to this day benefit financially and societally from those situations. I can either wait for that to happen, or I can go ahead and fuck with the people who are going to give me what I want. Now, I would hope that these individuals like Tyler the Creator and Gerard Carmichael and Stephen Lacey find men who love them for who they are, and also understand and accept the fact that because they are with someone who is black, they are going to, by default, unfortunately, deal with racism. With other white people asking them, why are you with that black person? Other black people asking that black person, why are you with this white person? And all of the societal stuff that comes along with it that, again, we're all trying to escape. So now down to this whole race play situation. In the realm of sex, if that's what you want to do and that gets your rocks off and you like that whole type of role playing, because I like role playing too, but it ain't gonna be no slave master shit. Now we can do some other type of shit like, oh, I'm the damn teacher and you the damn person coming after class for some shit, or I'm the football player and you the goddamn water boy and shit. We can do shit like that. But as far as race play and you doing all this shit, I'm not about to have Harriet Tubman and all my ancestors and all of the damn spiritual Orishas, Ogun, Olokun, and all them whoop my ass in the name of Ashe. Hell no. But if that is what you like, I'd rather he be open and honest about it so that we know who they are. Because unfortunately, for a lot of black men, when they're on these gay, quote unquote, dating sites, when they're really hookup sites, unfortunately, especially like Grindr or some of the whiter, quote unquote, more inclusive apps, a lot of my experiences from white men have been nothing but sexual in its nature. Oh, I want to see that BBC. I've never been with a black guy before. One white guy asked me, do you like, can you fart in my face? I was like, okay, girl, I gotta go. This is too much for me. But yes, to that person's point, the fact that he has a platform, I mean, it only becomes dangerous if we don't speak on it or like educate or dive deeper into these situations is when they become destructive. Because even though he's into that race play shit, we ain't gotta be into this race play shit. The fuck? Go find and to be honest, where I am in my life, all the people who are fear-based and ignorant, I want them to get on the mic. I want them to get on the StreamYards and the OBSs and the Twitches and the BGOs and the YouTube. I want them to get on all the platforms and talk all they shit, because unbeknownst to them, everything that you say can and will be used against you, bitch. Which is why a lot of times we have to think before we speak. So for the ignorant people that's talking and saying all type of ignorant shit, open up your mouth, give it a shout, so that we can objectively see who you are. So if you want that race bait and race playing shit, take your ass over there to them. But when your ass gets stumped the fuck out, when your ass gets used and abused, just like how, no shade, Candace Owens' ass was over there windmilling for white people to the detriment of the black community and sacrificed all of her edges to the point to where now she's trying to rebrand herself because your services have been terminated. Thank you. Your services are no longer needed. Thank you for your contribution, and we're going to cast you to the fucking side by someone that she trusted and believed in. All I know is that, girl, you better take your ass somewhere else, because like I said, girl, you can come back to the black community after we didn't blood in, blood out your ass. The only way Candace Owens' ass is back in the black community, girl, no shade, is she gonna have to do the whole cookout herself, girl. And we gonna need the oldest of grandmas, aunties, all the women who are so peculiar about you putting weird shit in the potato salad to come taste her stuff. And if she gets tens across the board, and once she gets jumped, then she can come back in, girl. We welcome you in with open arms, girl. Don't leave again, bitch. Don't leave again, bitch. Okay? And it's 444. And we also have to do better at loving people. Because again, when I think of, or when I look at the Candace Owens, the Ron Vugadas, the individuals of the world who also have been hurt by us, we also have to be accountable for that. Because it's one thing to be hurt by people who look just like you. It's another thing to go to the people who don't look like you, believing that they have the key to your salvation, just for them to dangle it in front of your motherfucking face, for you to do all their work, and then once they're done with you, they can drop your ass, and then now you want to come back. So now that you being judged by people and being fucked with and being discriminated by people who look just like you, just like I have. Because when it came down to queerphobia, I felt all that from black people. I didn't feel that from white people. I felt the racism now. Especially now with the way that my hair is locked up and stuff, and I'm looking like a stereotypical nigga as far as the locks and shit. But when it came down to queerphobia, I experienced that from my black brothers and sisters. And there was a point in time when I was in high school, because again, when I went to high school, it was predominantly white at the time. And here my black ass is going into a predominantly white drama club, girl, and I'm getting lead roles in this bitch, girl. Our productions over here looking like Cinderella, girl, where the white man was the daddy, Whoopi Goldberg was the mommy. Gave birth to an Asian son. Ikarabo Shande Ishkatai, that's what I call a blending. But I had my moment where I felt like I was better than the other blacks. I had obese white women, girl, giving me shoulder massages and shit. Feeding me grapes and shit at lunch. Other niggas looking at me like, well, damn. I feel like that nigga gay, but he got bitches rubbing his shoulders and shit, and his damn arms and shit, and feeding him grapes and shit. He over there living the hope and the dream of the slave manifested, girl. But that was because I didn't feel acceptance by my own people, so of course I went to the people who I thought was going to accept me. The same thing can be said about the queer community. When my ass was in the closet in organized religion and seeing how organized religion was fucking the queer community up, I thought that as soon as I walk in my truth, I'm going to go into the gay community and I'm going to start going to the gay pride parades and go to the gay clubs and go have these gay experiences with other queer people, and we're just going to be happy and open and loving and just be all that shit, just to go into some more hurt shit, especially in the black queer community. Because even when I was dating niggas, because I'm not ready to, I ain't gonna say, I feel like I'm not in a place to date yet. I feel like I'm getting close to the end where I'm at the door, like, okay, I can open it, but no. But at that time when I was dating other black men, loving on other black men, a lot of black men were afraid to receive that love from me because they didn't know who they were. But I didn't know who I was either, because I was giving of myself in a very unhealthy way. And when you give it to somebody in an unhealthy way who doesn't know how to give back and only knows how to receive, that is a very destructive experience. To where it took me years down the line and years worth of looking back in retrospect and healing to realize that, one, I never was the problem, and two, it took one of my exes to tell me, Bubs, you are overqualified. Here I am, 5'2". I barely made the 5 foot line, bitch. I could have been underneath 5 foot and had it been driving around at the age of 33 this year with a booster seat in the front. Buying car seats and shit and putting phone books in them. You know how hard it is to find a phone book in 2024? The fuck? I'm growing and knowing that I'm attractive. I'm not going to be attractive to everybody because everybody ain't attractive to me. And there are some people in the world who don't want to be with my short leprechaun ass because they got a 9-year-old nephew that's the same height as them or taller than me. Be goddamn 5th graders taller than me, girl. I've just now gotten to the place to where I can go to an amusement park, girl, and be able to comfortably ride the rides, girl. I ain't got to worry. Am I going to be able to make it? All these other things that my insecurity can play into. But despite my insecurities, there's going to be motherfuckers in life who I'm going to like that's going to be looking at me like how Damon was looking at Money Mike, girl. Make a nigga want to talk gangster, nigga. Who the leprechaun motherfucker over there? Oh, that leprechaun nigga? Oh, that's Money Mike, no. Leprechaun a hood ass nigga, you know. But that nigga look magically delicious, nigga. Yes, come swallow me up, bitch. Have you ever been swallowed? Yes. And in the words of Miss Pearly, shut up, bitch. I know somebody gonna like it. So even taking it back around again, because we go around the world, bringing it back around full circle to the Gerard Carmichael situation. That's his own life. If he want to be treated like a slave girl, if he want to go through a simulation of the trials and tribulations of our ancestors, maybe that's what his ass need. Maybe that's gonna be his breakthrough. Maybe he gonna track some goddamn Don't Breathe, Saw 1 through goddamn 35, The Hills Have Eyes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Maybe he needs some sort of traumatic ass HBO, Cinemax, dark ass, R-rated, blood and gore ass type of experience, girl. Maybe he needs to manifest. Girl, I was about to say something, Lord. I'm trying to think if I want to say it, Lord, but I think I'm going to say it, girl. Maybe he needs to manifest some sort of Jeffrey Dahmer motherfucker to help him understand that, girl. Even in your final moments of breath, girl, you better be calling on Ogun. You better be calling on Olokun. You better be calling on Oshun. You better be calling on your damn African deities that's there waiting for your ass to call them. But again, it's his life. Just like with ex-queer people, if they believe in their mind that they are ex-gay because they're not fucking no more, baby, do it and do it till you satisfied. I'm glad you doing it so that I don't have to do it. Okay? However you want to live your life, it is your prerogative. Just make sure that you accept whatever consequences or reactions that come with that life. If you do, by all means, do it. Do it, whatever it is. Rico says, I love to swallow, but I'm selective. Hey, man, we love selective swallowers, girl. If I swallow anything, it's gonna be my niggas. That's it. We in a relationship. The fuck? I'ma call Mother Oya every time. Come, let's talk. Huh? Now, let's get into some of the queer shit. Okay? And I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this because I was planning on going live last week, but last week I unexpectedly ended up going to Indiana to go visit my mother, my father, my granddad, and my uncle for my mother's birthday. And that was a very unexpected but needed getaway to where every day I was doing something. I didn't really have the opportunity to sit down and figure out what I wanted to go live about. It was more so like a recharge session. So I was sitting here yesterday when I was watching WrestleMania. I was like, how am I going, what am I going to talk about? And the eclipse happened and it just jumped in my spirit for this live to where it's like, okay, I can still speak how I want to speak. Y'all still in the building. Shout out to y'all. And I also am able to still get out some of the stuff that's been sent to me. So I'm going to read this article from them. And this again is from Queen Stevie and King Deshaun. And it says, after Planet Fitness sided with a trans customer, 17 locations got bomb threats. Okay, and again, we're just reporting the news. For the people who believe that this is all a lie, for you Alex Jones motherfuckers out there, girl, who believe in the Sandy Hook shit was a lie and believe it's crisis actors and shit, you have the burden of proving that. So again, for those of you who feel that my mentally ill, low-key transgender wannabe ass, for some of you ignorant motherfuckers who believe that, girl, who think that I'm lying, I'm asking you as individuals who are quote unquote on the right side of nature, of family, of God, of procreation, and just every fucking thing else in life. You are obligated, especially in this time where the people perish by the lack of knowledge. You have the opportunity to prove me wrong. And y'all niggas are failing at that. So anyway, multiple Planet Fitness chains are receiving bomb threats due to a battle against bigoted social media supporters of libs of TikTok. In a troubling incident earlier last month at a New Hampshire Planet Fitness location, a transgendered woman faced harassment from a group of individuals who identified themselves as libs of TikTok supporters. When one such self-proclaimed member, was banned for violating the gym's changed gender identity non-discrimination policy, the right-wing TikTok account then published multiple posts targeting the gym chain. As of today, at least 17 locations throughout the U.S. have reported receiving bomb threats. Let's look at some of the comments, shall we? One comment reads, "But you know, love thy neighbor," or whatever they choose to believe at the moment to justify their hateful hearts. Someone says it's giving Christian love. Someone else says transphobes will argue safety of children and protection of things moral and then make bomb threats. They are making our arguments for us. Someone else says, I can't fathom the logic that right-wingers would rather endanger and threaten everyone than just letting trans people live their lives. Someone else says, it's literally a judgment-free zone, scratching my head. Someone else says, wait, sorry, these are people claiming they're advocating for women's safety? Someone else says, I'm just going to say, and this is true, and again, prove me wrong if I am, I never heard of anyone from the LGBTQ community handing out bomb threats. Someone else says trans people are not the source of violence, but all too often we will be punished for violence regardless of who the perpetrator is. Wow. So again, Planet Fitness, the place where it is literally judgment free. I mean, these are the same people who would have pizza parties inside of the gym, girl. Like, come on now. If that isn't inclusion, I don't know what the hell is. You can eat this pizza and then wait a few hours and then work this shit the fuck out if you want to. It's about your mindset. But now this trans person can't come into the gym that is a judgment-free zone because there is still this idea that trans women are nothing but niggas in wigs who are trying to sexually abuse women. Meanwhile, we have movies like Love Boat, if I'm not mistaken. Remember with Cuban Gooding Jr., where his goal was to fuck this chick? And that there is this whole fantasy that a lot of heterosexual women believe that their vagina is just heaven sent. And it probably is heaven sent for a motherfucker that is full, but not for everybody. Who believe that their vagina is the cure, girl, to all of the queer shit. And that his ass said, I have to pretend to be a gay man in order to fuck this woman. Even if that means I have to go on a boat full of gay men. And we know how men get down because I don't know when it's going to happen, but I want to do that live to talk about how men, regardless if it's hetero or homo, that men are very sexual creatures. We're visual creatures. And we love busting nuts. To the point to where this man had a goal where he was going to pretend to be LGBT. Not so he can walk in the shoes of queer people and stop being queer-phobic. You know, to be a better human being. No. Because again, pussy is the end goal. And like I said, when it comes down to toxic male patriarchy, their goals in life is money, power, and respect. And when you have all that, the gray area, the amalgamation, okay, is to enter the phantasmagoric tunnel of the vagina, girl. Pussy. So, a trans person can't go into Planet Fitness and work out in a place that's supposed to be judgment-free because these people believe that that trans women are basically in the bathroom of women, biological females, to sexually abuse them. No, they're not thinking like you. Okay? They're not like you. See, your ass may put on a wig because you would pretend to be gay or pretend to be trans so that you can go ahead and get your own sick, perverted ass connection to pussy. When trans people and trans women are literally having to, they're literally wanting to go through life and live life in the most peaceful and safe and secure way as possible without their trans identity being the focal point. Because here it is, these ignorant ass, non-thinking, non-studying to show themselves approved ass individuals on TikTok, girl, who are very much sheep-minded, herd-minded, who can't think for themselves, who if told them that God was over a cliff, girl, they would jump over the fucking cliff. To now, this trans person is literally just trying to work out and live their best life and get their body together. And now, all of a sudden, they can't do that because they're trans. And we heard about you trans people. And now that we're here, we're going to stand our ground. And now y'all making bomb threats. Wow. What's up, Queen Spicy? Yeah, it's been a minute. I had to take a little break. Let's continue further. Let's pull some more shit up. Let me see. I am still not very much educated on the whole J. Cole situation, so I am not going to speak on that. Let me see. Because I'm just going through the DMs, y'all. Girl, who is this called? Hold on 1 second. Damn, no, I'm on live. Hold on. Can I call you back? I'm on live at the moment. 3 hours later. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I'm just looking, y'all. Oh, yes. Apparently, I got sent something where y'all love bringing up Sodom and Gomorrah, girl, but y'all don't ever want to finish the story or go in depth about what Sodom and Gomorrah was. I'm tired of y'all motherfuckers continuously struggling to believe that Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because of homosexuality. But to y'all fucking logic, that means that everybody in Sodom and Gomorrah had to be homosexual if it was destroyed for homosexuality. And if that was the case, how did the homosexuals procreate, according to y'all's logic? Because y'all tell us all the damn time that 2 men and 2 women cannot come together and procreate. So how is Sodom and Gomorrah growing? How? Is it just surrogacy along the way? Gay niggas just skeeting in cups and then putting, I don't know, they have turkey bases back then, but motherfucking tubes and shit and bamboo bark and shit. Some sort of goddamn vaginal chalice or something to let the seed run into thy's womb. And when we actually study further in the book, it literally explains what the sins of Sodom was. They were greedy. They were hoarding stuff. They were not sharing. In order to receive, you have to also give. That is one of the spiritual laws of life and of this universe. The law of cause and effect. In order for you to receive, you have to then give. And those individuals didn't give because according to the story, girl, didn't it say that God was asking? I've got old dude's name because again, the most important thing I remember of the Bible is Christ. All the other stories are just stories to speak about the wonders of God. When Christ came into the narrative, it was literally teaching you how to have your own experience. So, excuse me, but for you motherfuckers that's living vicariously through these stories and still struggling to manifest your breakthrough, y'all will correct me. But didn't God say, okay, find me this amount of people? And he couldn't do it. Okay. Well, find me this smaller group of people. Shit ain't work out. Okay. Can you find me at least 5 motherfucking people? It's gotta be at least 5 people in the city that is righteous, that is connected to love, that is connected to empathy, that stands in the gap. There has to be. And there wasn't. Which is why, according to that narrative, the city was destroyed. But let your ignorant ass, low-key, down-low ass pastor who get exposed years later because he's sucking dick in front of a camera, thinking that God just his aura gonna shine so bright that you just see a glowing figure giving head, and horrible head at that. But let them tell it. It was destroyed because of homosexuality. A wise mystic once said, and it's true, organized religion is God's coffin. It's where God was. And just like it says in the book about the Lord and Savior that y'all profess, y'all claim y'all know, but y'all only just claim him as y'all mascot and don't have a real connection with him or it or love or the mindset. Okay, gonna move on. That's gonna get me started. Let's see what else. This is from NBC Out. 1 in 3 LGBTQ adults say they've been treated unfairly by a health care provider. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, and queer adults are twice as likely as their non-queer counterparts to report having had negative healthcare experiences over the last 3 years, according to a new report. 1/3, 33%, of queer adults say they were treated unfairly or with disrespect or had at least one negative experience with a healthcare provider, compared to 15% of non-queer adults, according to a new report by KFF. Of the queer adults who reported negative experiences, 61% said a provider assumed something about them without asking, suggested they were personally to blame for a health problem, ignored a direct request or question, or refused to prescribe needed pain medication, compared to 31% of non-queer adults who reported negative experiences. We see that queer people report higher rates of anxiety, depression, and loneliness compared to our non-queer plus peers. But we also know that these disparities aren't innate, and they're driven by the harmful ways in which we're treated by the world around us, an expert said, highlighting the critical link between discrimination and health outcomes. So here it is. We have queer people literally telling their stories. And time again, not only do we tell our stories, we prove our stories. And again, time and time again, our stories, our experiences are quickly discounted under the grounds that we are simply queer. Simply because we're queer. And then when you have queer people like myself, like CTV, like Reckless Logic, like Neo X, like Hope Giselle, who a lot of times end up going into these spaces already knowing, already having an epiphany of what the fuck is going to happen, but still hoping for the best, just for that worst to manifest. Not on our end, because we accept that as a possible reality, but we're consciously, subjectively choosing to have a more peaceful, more well thought out, more organized, more humanistic way of having the conversation, to where if we were to tap into the human aspect, we will be able to have an anchor in humanity, which then will be able to explore the spectrum of the fear that we have in reference to the queer phobia, and how queer people have to be fearful of and deal and protect themselves from queer phobia. And that once we work through that, then we can start getting to the issues that are part of the bigger picture. Because all this shit that we're dealing with right now is all there for distraction. Which is why we go into... Let me say something to you. If I was a troll, baby, y'all would know I was a troll. I would tell y'all that I was a troll. And not only tell y'all, I would show y'all that I'm a troll. Now, if you want Bubs the Troll to come out, because I'm gonna be Bubs the Top, Bubs the Leprechaun, BubzDaGawd, all that shit, girl. If you want me to be Bubs the Troll, I can show you what trolling looks like. But if I was to troll, I understand that that would not serve a purpose. Especially when, once again, I've made it all the way completely clear about what my objective is when it comes down to these conversations about queerness. How I even insert my humanity in the beginning of my statement before we even get into the bullshit, by first of all saying that I'm nervous, not because you niggas put fear in my heart, but because I just want to be able to have a different type of conversation. But because I'm having conversation with fear-based ass niggas, I understand that there is a very big possibility that the highway to hell is going to be the overall choice for the majority. And I realize that I am learning how to be both heavenly minded and earthly good as well. To, if we got to go down that road of hell, we can go down that road, because according to the narrative of the Bible, girl, Christ already went to hell, conquered hell, and left the door open for other motherfuckers to follow in his footsteps. We can see who is the one that is really in fear. And we're talking about in fear as far as energy. Which is why when we have these conversations, they really don't go nowhere. Because there's this misconception that queer people are not conscious, they're not aware, that they don't have any emotional awareness and intelligence. Meanwhile, an individual who is heterosexual just opened up his mouth and said that the reason why, according to them, all this other dysfunctional shit that a lot of motherfuckers are talking about, we're gonna tap into that a little bit tonight too. That if y'all would get y'all shit together, there wouldn't be all this other shit, because again, y'all are the grandmamas and granddaddies of the bullshit. Like I said in my previous lives, y'all over here complaining about how hip-hop is going and rap is going and how the sexy reds and all this shit, when y'all motherfuckers was playing into the creation of that. Freaknik showed us that. Which a lot of black parents is hoping and praying and wishing and spending their last money, and low-key, even though they Christian, doing some hoodoo voodoo shit, going to the candle store and getting a white candle to light a candle to have the Lord just put blood over the doorpost, or in the words of Andrew Caldwell, Dokosh, of the focal point of Freaknik. No, we're going to deal with the bullshit. Because y'all calling the sexy reds out. Okay, let's call out the freaky hoes too back in the day. They're going to girl with the days of Duke song. God will the girl with the days of Duke song. You got niggas over here making lives about 100 years being a hoe. How do we get there? Well, we there because y'all fucking the hoes. Y'all just don't want the hoes to have power, because once your wife start tripping, once your girlfriend start tripping, you got somebody that you can nut in and release. To the point to where there was another beautiful black melanated sister, Queen, who I respect Even though her viewpoint does come from a very subservient, fear-based way, but I still appreciate her loving nature, where she got on the platform and literally said out of her mouth, oh, well, men are created and designed low-key to go out there and sow they wild oats. Men are supposed to have they're built to go out and fuck other women without it being emotionally intact. They are built to be able to go out and do what they do and come back. And if you find out, they have the ability to say, oh, I love you, I'm just fucking her. And that women aren't built to do that. Then turned around and said in the same breath, I'm not saying that that is right. So you're like, Whitney, it's not right, but it's okay. And if that is the case, does that mean that little girls need to be being put in their head now that you're only worthy if a man chooses you? And if your man decides that he want to stick his dick out and swing it around and be Papa was a Rolling Stone, wherever he laid his hat and his dickhead at was his home, that you're going to have to be okay with that, because as long as you the main one, fuck the side women, you the main one. To literally manifest the whole idea of he's mine, you may have had him once, but I got him all the time. Bitch, you had him once, you can have him all the time. But now that we see women rapping about their own body, not just men having control over women's body and using money as a form of control. Because even with Jared Carmichael, did you hear how he was talking about sex? You ever just slack him up, spit in a motherfucker mouth, and slap a motherfucker in the face? There is this struggle with power. And in some sexual experiences, niggas feel like the only way they have power over a motherfucker is sexually. They ain't got power over a motherfucker mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. So they only use their dick to tame a bitch. But now that women are getting up here and they talking about bow, 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 that's my booty meat. Hey, look at my booty cheeks. Now that the women can get up here and pull a goddamn, what's that shit called? Empire Girl, look, but don't touch, don't touch. Don't touch, don't touch. Now that she is telling you to control your damn self, now it's a problem and it's an issue. And I just had an epiphany. I remember there was someone that I used to watch on YouTube. They started doing YouTube videos recently, so I'm gonna have to probably check that out. But I followed them on my old YouTube channel back in like the mid 2000s, and they were speaking on the whole situation with transness, because they are non-binary and they're very androgynous with their energy, to where they said something that was very profound. It was like, well, the reason why I feel like heterosexual men is mad at trans women and stuff like that is because now you can't just get pussy readily available. You got to get to know a bitch now. And we know y'all niggas don't want to get to know this bitch. You just want to find somebody to stick your dick in. We've seen this again on Freaknik 1998. Y'all talk about all these hoes, 100 years of hoes, why women becoming hoes. They always been hoes. The 90 pushing these bitches to be hoes. But yet y'all never ever want to have the conversation or bring context to what happens when quote unquote hoes have hoe shit happen to them. Just like how that woman, she wasn't soliciting the head from niggas. She wasn't bending over and you see her lips all open and stuff and she inviting you in a lustful way. She was twerking and doing her little booty popping just like the other chicks was, and wasn't even doing it. She was probably doing a little weak ass, cute little twerk. Just for them gang of niggas to get around her, 10 niggas, and start pulling her clothes off. Meanwhile, all these other men are around and ain't doing shit. But y'all want to be the leaders? But y'all on the right side. Yeah, the right side of bullshit. And I forgot this individual's name. And apparently he also played a part in toxic masculinity and patriarchy. But he was able to have awareness. And he said something along the lines of, our women, our black women, would not be bitches if we weren't dogs. Ooh. Black women would not be bitches if we weren't dogs. It's just a dog in me, bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, spirited ass niggas. And it's just very interesting to me because over the course of me documenting queerphobia, again, there was one particular platform of all black people who proved the points of queer people so in such a cringy fashion to where it's like the reason why we keep winning is because y'all keep losing. Because when y'all speak on queerness, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about, and it shows. What's up, Queen Amber? What's up, Queen Stevie? Oh yeah, I saw I came in before I went live. And it's funny because there are certain people that was once on that platform that after that queer conversation, I haven't seen on the platform. And this is a platform where we're supposed to have real ass conversations and the difficult conversations and all this shit, trying to do something productive in the black community and the family community. And then when you have the opportunity to do such things, y'all struggle with actually walking that out. And I'm gonna use acronyms. For the people that know, y'all know what platform I'm speaking of. There was an individual whose initials was BA, who, when I was on the platform the first time, I felt her energy. I felt like, okay, she understands. She even shared an experience about how she was younger and had someone queer in her family, and she was just like, okay. There was no touching of this queer family member on her. There wasn't any being asleep at night and in the middle of the night at 3 a.m, girl, you're awakened by this person in your bed talking about shh, 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 as they're doing things to you. Nothing of the sort. But y'all disregard that, or y'all call that an outlier. Shit, is it outlier, or is the fact that your ass is not going to even have the wherewithal to even figure that out, to even see if that's true? And I'm guessing it's the latter. She's no longer on the platform? There was a brother and sister duo who had their own show on the platform, girl, who actually had a conversation with a queer person, who actually created a safe space for this queer person to come into this area and to have a more nuanced conversation. Just for them to be chastised because how dare you let that faggot on here? Y'all know how we feel about them. How dare you bring him on the platform? It's a platform about faith and family and fearlessness. 3 F's. We don't have 4 F's for faggot. We don't have that. Just for there to be another live where these real men or real gods, if you will, said, we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to walk in the footsteps of those before us. Remember, these are the same niggas who told us that they grew up in the time where if there was a woman getting her ass beat down the street by her drunk husband, they went down there to stop the drunk husband for some shit and actually protect the black woman who's getting her ass beat. Who said, no, we got to deal with these fags. We got to do this now. Just for them to, again, do this cringy ass display to explain to queer people their fundamental understanding of queerness, which is, it's every single time we start off with, with 2 men and 2 women can't procreate. We understand that, we accept that to be the truth, but queer people still have the appendages to bring life into this world, so they can contribute to the birth rate. So again, next argument. Oh, well, let's look at nature. Let's look at nature. Yes, let's look at nature. There are different animal species that express what we would consider queerness. We don't know if there's any sort of romantic or love attachment to it, but even in nature, it was something that us to sexual, but in other elements of the animal kingdom is something that's a part of their process. Like, there are male lions who fuck each other to strengthen their bonds. There are a lot of things in nature that we don't understand and that we're still understanding. And even when these individuals in their clean up woman ass lives that be horrible as hell, like at this point, girl, I would prefer the room to be dirty than opposed to receiving what this cleaning of y'all doing looks like. To where there was a scientist who literally said that, yes, queerness is a mystery, but so is heterosexuality. And that on the spectrum of sexuality, there is a lot going on, and they even named and benefit the qualities that they've seen throughout history and through their studies as individuals who actually study to show themselves approved, who are actually objective, who have said that queerness actually benefits society. Next argument. Then we go into the Bible, girl. The Bible says in Leviticus, it says in Romans, it says in this, what it says in this, and it says, and it says, and it. Okay, and then we break all that down. And then we play the game that they think is called deflection. No, it's not. It's called inclusion, because y'all are trying to make something exclusive to queer people, and y'all failing in that. Because if we use Leviticus, baby, and we're going to play the game about abominations, baby, that's not the only one. And make sure you ain't doing none of them before you try to talk about me being an abomination. Make sure that all your clothes from here on and forever is 100% cotton. It better be 100%. Better not be no blend. And you know, the more pure shit, girl, is going to cost more. Y'all shouldn't be eating shellfish and shit like that, baby. Y'all be loving crab, seafood boils, girl. Some of y'all need to push away from the table, bitch. No shade. When your stomach can meet the table before your goddamn chest can, stay away. But then once we start playing, oh, you're in the Bible too, or we start playing the inclusion game of, okay, well, if we going to hell, you going to hell too. And then we bring up the scriptures that verify that you going to hell, just like you using to verify that I'm going to hell. Now, all of a sudden, there is this mass awareness of, oh, I'm not perfect and I don't know everything. And if we listen to like Nick Jones' ass, I'm not perfect and I'm afraid of Judgment Day. So basically, if you are a Christian and you afraid of Judgment Day because you living your best life and you feel like your best life is not enough and you over here doing the right thing, then that means that Christ died in vain. But see, me as a queer person and other queer people who live our lives open and queer, all we're doing is literally just manifesting the promises of Christ, which is that as long as you love the Lord your God, which is outside of you and also in you, And then continue to, from that overflow, love things outside of you, even if you don't understand it, but you look at it through the lens of love. Those are the two greatest, easiest commandments that strengthens your foundation, and then you build upon that. So with that being said, next argument. Then motherfuckers start getting creative, girl, and no shade. They like, well, you got trans people out there saying that they women. I'm about to play the game with y'all. Okay, play the game. Play the game, girl. I was trying to really have a play the game of humanity. But now that we playing the judgment game, girl, let's play the judgment game, girl. And queer people, no shade, the shit that we had to deal with, especially as black queer people, girl, a lot of us try not to play the judgment game, girl, because we know what the fuck that feels like. But I'm also under the impression that for some motherfuckers, they don't know until they experience it. Because seeing sometimes is truly believing. So now we're getting shit like, and I keep letting my shit because I be talking to my shit go out. Also, please make sure y'all like the video. Help this channel to grow. We are at 791 subscribers. We almost at 1,000, y'all. And if you feel compelled, you can definitely hit that Cash App at the bottom of the screen. BubzDaGawd, okay? That would be a wonderful way to welcome a nigga back. I appreciate it. Even if it's $5, $1, I don't give a damn. Thank you. I'm taking all blessings. Small, big, and in between. So now we're getting into spaces like, oh, well, your mama was a hoe, and because she was a hoe, she ended up manifesting a down low nigga who ain't living in his truth, and she had sex with him, and he imparted his demonic truth onto you in the womb, so now you live in his experience. And let's just play the game and say that's the motherfucking case. If you actually allow the queer person to be his motherfucking self, to where there would be no need for no DL shit, then maybe the queer existence or experience that you think is happening, it will stop. Do you see how the queer person has the remedy, and the remedy involves you accepting queerness as part of the reality? Because despite what you believe or what you want to believe, y'all are willing to believe everything else except what is objectively and factually in your motherfucking face, is that queer people are a part of this experience, and they're here whether you want them to be or not. Just like how black people and niggas is here, just as much white people don't want it and shit. We are part of this experience. And when you start to accept everything else, even the crazy shit that y'all are struggling to manifest, and don't be objective enough to be able to accept the fact that queer people exist, that is called queer phobia. That despite all the information that is readily fucking available for you, you are still choosing. It says my people perish by the lack of knowledge, but I also understand that my people perish by the fear of knowledge as well. And for a lot of religious people, if I accept queer people, then what else have I been lied to about the system? I be telling y'all to get y'all drinks and y'all smoke together. Y'all be telling me y'all don't need that shit now, baby. When the time comes, baby, when the objective truth comes out, baby, don't worry, girl. I'm going to have a pre-roll, because you ain't getting my good shit from my bro. I'm going to go to the dispensary and get you a pre-roll. Cheap $3 pre-roll. You ain't getting none of my good shit. But I'm going to have a pre-roll right there for you. Here you go, pimpin'. You all right? Now, you might want to slow down a little bit. Now, this is an indica. I ain't going to give you no sativa because you're already depressed. If I give you a sativa, which is a head high, you're going to be really in your head, girl, to where you're going to have an ego death like I did, the dark side of healing. And that's why I say it's fear-based. And that's why it'd be cringy, because it's like, at this point, I would have so much respect for people if they can just open up their mouth and say, look, I'm queerphobic. Wear it. Wear it. Wear it. We gotta wear the label of being a fag. We gotta wear the label of that shit. Wear it. That's why you have queer people using the word now. That's why black people call each other nigga. Oh, you're demonizing your own people. No, I'm not. I remixed the shit and I transmuted this bitch. I transmuted it. Just because your motherfucking ass is still thinking about shit in a low vibrational, ignorant ass state, I found a way to transmute this shit to work for my good because, again, God is in all things and everything. It's about how I look at it. And again, back to this argument, queer people have to hear this. I've literally done a live on Lance Scurv's live about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, girl, where they were still saying the same shit. That's why when I came on the platform the second time, I was like, okay, girl, fuck all this other bullshit, girl. See, y'all want to have these safe questions because at first I didn't know who I was. When I first came on the platform, oh, we're just so, your energy, man. Do I have to do a live on it? I don't mind. I have OBS now. I don't have to pay to stream, girl. I can stream for as long as I want for free. Not y'all done really fucked up now. Cause I can go back to my roots of doing 7, 8, 9 hour lives. Where I was told, oh man, your energy and your passion is amazing, man. You got that fire, and we definitely gonna have you back on the platform. Then y'all started watching me and hearing the shit that I talked about, and it was hitting y'all ego bad. To where when I did go live with y'all a second time, I found out later on that it wasn't just that platform that was streaming it. It was multiple people on the platform who was streaming the live that I was on with them on their own individual channels. And the people would leave the primary channel that it was on to go to these other spaces to talk hella shit. But I'm the mentally ill one. I should be the one talking hella shit. I should be the one cursing motherfuckers out. I should be the one over here reading and roasting. I should be the one. No, baby. I was on the platform by myself and I did not sweat at all. I had to pee for a second, but I didn't sweat at all. And if it's one queer person on the platform, hell yeah, I'ma hold my shit the fuck down and did a good job to the point to where afterwards, the real truth came out to where these people wanted to become physically violent with me. And all I did was use my words. Again, like that comment said about the Planet Fitness situation. Where in history have queer people been physically violent with heterosexual people? Offensively. Starting it. I'll wait. I'll wait. Where are the videos in the news articles of the Saucy Santanas just pulling a 187 on the motherfucking Again, where are the homosexuals that is murking black men and leaving glitter and dildos and used enema bottles at the crime scene, bitch? Where? But then these men want to become physically violent with me. Oh, I want to jump through the TV at him. I wanted to strangle him. Damn. Y'all want to strangle little old me, girl? Because again, the fag was doing what fags don't do, or what they're not supposed to do, or what they're afraid of fags doing. To the point to where in the first 5 minutes of my live, when we get into the shit, somebody in the comments said, oh, he's dangerous. You goddamn right I'm dangerous. I'm dangerous to your limited fear-based ass thinking. Because again, I had niggas on the platform who didn't even think I was gay, who thought I was trolling because I called 2 women on the platform fine as hell, and they are fine as hell. Just because I don't want to stick my dick in them and ejaculate does not mean that I can not find women beautiful and gorgeous. Oh, Bubs, he ain't gay. He can't really be gay. He not. What gay man says that? And gay people are not a monolith either. And if we're going to be all the way honest, even in the queer community, we still believe in heteronormatives and try to apply that monolith in the queer community. Because I had somebody tell me that, bitch, because I'm 5'2", I'm not even a real man. I'm low-key a woman. I didn't know I was T.S. Bubs. And this same person, if they would have gave me a chance, bitch, I had this motherfucker, bitch, turned the fuck out. To where you talking all that shit and all around the damn house will be step ladders and shit because you love a nigga, bitch. Let me help you out. God may have not blessed you in height, but he's blessed you in other ways. Let me get this step ladder for your ass. Let me go cook these tacos for your ass. Let me baby boy this shit. Let me clean up a little bit. And then for these same people, before I even went on their platform, when they had CTV and Reckless Logic on their platform, they ended up having a conversation about an hour and a half, 2 hours, or however long, after the live in the green room, girl. And it was a whole entire different experiences to where niggas wasn't preaching what they were not walking what they were preaching in during the live. Let's continue with the people who are no longer on the live no more. Another individual named T, who used to be on the live. I don't see him up there anymore. And the period time before the first time I was on this platform and the creation of the second one, which was unfortunate because, again, like I stated, I was going to be the only one besides Dr. Nakumbe, God bless him, to continue this conversation about blackness and queerness, because if we were really about this conversation and really trying to understand and really trying to work towards some sort of reconciliation and gray area where we all can motherfucking benefit from it, you're going to have to continue to be consistent. It should have been, okay, we have a part 1 on this live, okay, next week part 2 gonna be on this person live, next week it needs to be a series. It needs to be ongoing. It needs to be continuing. And I even stated that the next time when we continue this conversation, because again, I don't think it's going to be the first time, these are the people that I want to have a conversation with on the platform, because these are the individuals who are aware to still stand in their truth and what they believe in, but actually be open-minded without the fear that if they're open-minded, the devil's going to seep in. To where I named multiple people that I would love to have a conversation with, just for the second conversation to be under their control where they still failed. Because again, y'all are the ones that are ignorant on queerness. And I realize that a lot of black people at large, unfortunately, still hold on to that viewpoint about queerness. Which brings me to the end of this live, which again reinforces the title of the live: be who the fuck you are. Because a lot of people that's trying to tell you how to live your damn life, they trying to figure shit out too. And if a motherfucker not affirming your life or loving on you or critiquing you out of love to where your spirit receives it, if they're not doing that, move them out the fucking way. Because in this era of over information, there are people out there who simply are not going to study to show themselves approved, who simply are not going to do the research and continue to do the research. Because the one thing about researchers and scientists and stuff is that they continue it. They don't do it for a day and that's it. Do it for a few hours and that's it. They consistently commit to it. And then you have queer people that come into the space, that come into the place, that come into the area, because we know damn well y'all afraid to come over here, so we always got to go the fuck over there. Because apparently if you come over here, you thinking somebody's finger gonna slide in your ass, which a lot of you niggas who feel that way, girl, we wouldn't even look at your ass twice If women don't want you, what makes you think gay niggas want you, girl? And gay niggas standards are ridiculously high. And a lot of motherfuckers that's on the mic, girl, y'all don't even look like high value men your damn selves. If it wasn't for your money, girl, they probably wouldn't even look at your ass. Which is why a lot of men, even the niggas who call themselves simps, can get into some money and change. Why you think these niggas get all this money and still be depressed? Because the money supposed to bring the happiness. Yeah, it brings a tangible happiness in reference to you ain't got bills no more, which means you have more free time to do what the fuck you want to do. But now that you can focus on that free time and you want something real, now you have to decide whether if this person in my life wants to be with me for who I am, my quirks, my qualms, all of my insecurities, all of my baggage, all the shit that comes with me. Or do they want me simply because of my money and the lifestyle that I provide for them in reference to it being comfortable? I keep telling y'all, or shall I say, trying to inspire y'all to look in the realm of self-love. Because all this shit that we're seeing, all this discrimination against other people, harming other people, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically, in all these different areas and aspects of humanity, all comes down from the simple fact that we as people need to learn how to heal. And it's going to take emotional awareness and intelligence, which means that yes, there's going to have to be some revisiting of pain. There's going to have to be some revisiting of those memories in your mind that you tried so hard to shield yourself from. No, it's time to learn from them. Because if we don't, the universe will continue to give you quote unquote lessons for you to learn it. And it will go as far as you're willing for it to go. To where for some people, it has to take catastrophic shit happening to them in order for them to get it. The same thing low-key happened for me when I had my ego death. I had that bad trip off that edible, and unlike weed, when you smoking it, I couldn't blow the high. I had to ride that wave out, or whatever the fuck the experience was giving me. And Mother Marijuana showed me the darkest part of myself that needed to be healed. But because I had love in that moment, because unbeknownst to me, I was strengthening that love in myself, that when that moment came where I could have lost my mind, where I could have delved into the darkness and turned into a monster, just like so many monsters that we've seen who have done horrible, atrocious things to humanity because that's how they feel about themselves. I could have allowed myself to be that. I could have been the next Jeffrey Dahmer. I could have been the next Ted Bundy. I could have been the next person whose mind was so fucked up, so uncalibrated, so demonized, to where I started to accept the demonizations of shit outside of me. I was starting to believe the shit they were saying about me to be true, to where it could have affected someone else's life, and I could have spent the rest of my years in jail, or basically have my life snatched from me, because that was the only way for the universe to get my attention. Even if it was for a moment before death, it was an opportunity. After that one time, baby, girl, a wise mystic once said, girl, once your ass start growing in your spirituality, girl, you gonna start walking into the punches because you understand the purpose of the punches. And I encourage everyone under the sound of my voice, love yourself. The only person who gonna do it is you. BubzDaGawd can't do it. All I can do is just share information, share my own personal stories and other objective facts, and then you do what you will with the information. But I do think that queer people, and I do think that black people, and I just think that humanity in general, especially the oppressed groups of humanity, needs to learn how to protect themselves. I know some of y'all are afraid of firearms, afraid of weapons, afraid of blood, afraid of conflict. I am not a big fan of conflict. That's why I try my best to grow in my communication skills, so there is no sort of conflict. But if it gets to a point to where you have to choose your life over somebody else's life in reference to them threatening your life, I don't want you to be caught up in the whole fear mode of being frozen. I want you to love yourself so much that if a motherfucker come against you with some bullshit and they become physical, may God bless them. May God bless them. Because the way that I'm going to need for you to lose your mind in reference to defending yourself, baby, that's going to be their ego death. When they have queerphobic thoughts about wanting to harm somebody with that gay shit or some sort of self-repressed shit, they'll think twice about it and probably go get some motherfucking help. But you ain't got to be a victim. You don't have to be a continual headline. And if they gon' dead name, let they dead name your ass because you're the survivor. They gonna dead name your ass anyway when your ass do pass away. But guess what? Until then, I'm going to live. And if I survive this encounter, call me what you want, but make sure you also include alive as well. John Wick as well. Strapped up as well. Blessed are the peacemakers as well. The peace that passes all understanding as well. The peace that was made of steel as well. Hell yes. Even with me, I'm a same gender loving man who has a more masculine aesthetic and energy, but I do embrace some of the feminine aspects of the culture and just feminine aspects of myself. But I have the ability to go out into the world and blend. But it does not mean that because I have the ability to blend with society that I am exempt from a hate crime. And that hate crimes don't happen in a fucking vacuum. They happen in different instances. Hate crimes happen when two men come together and one man questioning himself. So of course he horny as fuck, so he just trying to get a nut out. And when he finally get the nut out and that post clarity hit him, there's a lot of queer men, unfortunately, who are genuinely queer, who accept themselves, who end up dealing with a harsh backlash of that. A lot of niggas lost their lives and got their ass beaten because of post nut clarity. But you the one that was hitting the gay man up though. But you the one trying to get your nut off with this nigga though. When I tell y'all there's a spectrum to this, and what I'm realizing that people don't care, and guess what? You ain't gotta care, girl. But when the mirror is on your ass, girl, I want you to think about the shit that you've done to other people. Because there will come a time where you're gonna need people, girl, and it's gonna be a gag if something happens and you need queer people to help you out. And then you expect the queer people who, because they follow Christ, it's kind of like you can do your shit, but then when it comes down to retribution, they have to follow Christ, so they have to follow these rules. Oh no, well since you bending rules, let's bend some rules too, bitch. Because like I stated, it's equality across the mother hucking board. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for joining me for this impromptu live. Let me look at y'all comments before we go ahead and get out of here. Let me see. Queen Stevie, you hit the nail on the head. Yep. I'm surprised they wasn't in here, because normally they be in my lives trolling, no shade. Let's see. Harold says, ain't no having any difficult conversations. Them hoes on that platform just want to insert dominance over us when they don't have the range to even have the conversation. True. And that's why even in there, like, I'm not going to say everybody on that platform, because again, there were people that I did name who are on that platform that I want to have the conversation with. But I think that if they were to host that on their platform, all of their logic would have holes in it, because we have people from that platform that frequent that platform agreeing with this homosexual person. They can't have that, because again, the way the society has made it, especially in the religious context, girl, you need cardinal sins. But Christ died for all the sins. So why is there cardinal sins? Why are we still calling out people's sins when Christ died for the sins? So again, that argument that they try to prove, it only proves that y'all are saying that Christ's death was in vain. And y'all can believe that if you want to, but this leprechaun homosexual is actually believing the truth, which is why, amidst what your Bible says or what your interpretation of the Bible is, God is allowing queer people to prosper. God is allowing trans women to prosper. God is allowing oppressed groups of people to be, because at the end of the day, y'all don't own God. You may own the organized religious viewpoint of it, but you don't own the totality of God. God is for all things. And if you want to stay in the basic understanding of that, the entry level understanding of that, then by all means, baby, there are levels to this shit. Ride the level you on, but don't try to stop other people who are ascending. Don't stop them because you don't understand. You ain't gotta have the understanding. All we want you to understand is respect it. You ain't gotta like me, but you will respect me. So if you don't understand or agree with the whole trans thing, as far as the pronouns and stuff like that, when you are out in the objective world, bitch, you need to sit up here and just respect the bitch for who they are. No shade. If it's misses, it's misses. You ain't gonna never see this bitch again. But if you want to play these holstro games, we can. And don't get mad when queer people play it better than you. We trying to have the conversation so that we don't go down this road. And if you think we're going down this road and we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing, which means that we're going to be victims and oh my God and scared of y'all, no. It's a new day, a dawn, a new life, and it's time to feel good. And all things come to an end. Even in your book, it said there will be a new heaven and a new earth. So even the old things are passing away, and we are aware in the era where that's happening. And that's why love is important, baby, because it's going to work in such a mysterious way that you're going to have to find a way to include yourself in this new world, in this new heaven, because if you don't, that's going to be on you. No shade. Queen Stevie said, these are the same men who gaslight women who said something happened at freaking. Yes, these are the same individuals who are doing lives about how women are hoes and stuff like that. But yet y'all talk about, I did a live on one of their lives where they literally sat up here and talked about how ugly this woman was and how horrible she is because she was speaking against Andrew Tate. But then 30 minutes later say, oh, I'll still fuck her though. Like I still do it. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. That's the thing. Like, again, y'all want everybody to go in the closet so that now you can go back to your play toys. You can go back to your playthings, because a vocal hoe is a dangerous hoe. A vocal homosexual is a dangerous homosexual, because a lot of people that are very queerphobic, and I'm just going to say it since we're going to play them hostro games, girl, y'all the ones that be wanting the boy pussy, and y'all the ones that want to have control over women sexually because y'all don't have any real control in your life. And a lot of these women wouldn't be hoes if the men didn't treat them like hoes. Where are the men out there that love women, that appreciate women, that respect women, that allow women to have self-agency? Where are they at? Because those are the ones that really love women in an unconditional way, not in this toxic way that says that you need a woman to complete you. No, bitch, I already came in this whole complete. I don't need anybody else to complete me. I'm already completed. If anything, these are just accessories. These are just things to complement the freedom that I'm already in. And like I said, heterosexual people have a bigger issue than queer people do. Just like the song said, during the time where a lot of these individuals were young children themselves and teenagers back in the day, young adults. From the Jones Girls here from Detroit, There won't be peace on earth till man's at peace with woman. There won't be peace on this ground until man and woman sit down. So before y'all start opening y'all mouths about queerness and all this queer shit, make sure the heterosexual shit is done. Because if not, we can play the looking in the blind spots game. And I don't think y'all gonna like that. Because she actually read the data on it. T.S. Madison and straight people don't believe in PrEP. We definitely got to talk about it. Straight people don't even believe in PrEP because they don't know who they're having sex with. They don't wrap it up. Nothing. Yep. I mean, everybody got to wear protection. Everybody has to wear protection at this point, baby. And if you're going to have unprotected sex with somebody, make sure it's somebody that you trust. And a lot of times we be ignoring the hell out of red flags. You better address that shit, bitch. If anything, acknowledge the green flags. Because on the comment with T.S. Madison, a young woman appeared and said, "Why are you reading straight people and women?" Well, they were beautiful women on the platform that she was on. Queen Stevie says that's the dire homophobia. Oh, he can't be gay. Oh, and one more thing. They're bringing back I am gay pranks again to their fathers. It was an African guy that the dad that was about to scold those boys with hot water, and they said, oh, it's a prank. Wow. I thought it was an agenda. Why are you bringing back I am a gay prank? Send me that, because that might be my next live, because I need to get up on my live game. I kind of relaxed. I got to get back into it. This is ridiculous. They're bringing back gay pranks again, and all those people said it's not funny, and they're saying, oh, he's comfortable with the sexuality. Oh, it's funny. I'm not surprised. Again, I already did a lot. See, I know what the fuck I be talking about. And I know how to employ my mental bandwidth to actually commit to figuring this stuff out. I did a live months ago where I said, before I went on that platform the second time, that heterosexual people can play gay, but gay people can't be gay. There are pranks now. Oh, I'm playing sus music around my dad. Sus music. It's a prank. 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 But see, it's a prank for you because I ain't gay for real though. I ain't gay for real though. I'm just playing. I ain't gay. You have the ability to have whatever ostracization or demonization or whatever consequence that's going to come. You have the ability to stop it. Oh, I ain't gay. I'm just playing. I don't play like that. But what about the queer people who be having self-deletion ideations and be fear-based and dealing with depression because they can't walk in their truth because that is the reaction that they are afraid of receiving? And as we see, we have people who are not even fucking gay for real, pranking that they're gay and catching their parents in real time with their direct response. And we're talking about that queer phobia doesn't exist. Anyway, thank y'all for listening to the live. I really appreciate it. Please make sure that you hit that like button, okay, because it helps this channel to grow in the algorithms. All right, and it's the best way that you can help contribute in the growing of this platform, because it's not just mine, it's ours. I'm doing it for us, okay? We got to do it. No shade. If you like the vibe over here on BubzDaGawd, please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you can stay up to date with all of my lives. And if you feel compelled, you can definitely hit that Cash App at the bottom of the screen, $ BubzDaGawd, okay? We take any and all things. Also, if there's anything in this live that I have said, like y'all share everything else, y'all share memes, shit like that. If there's something that I've said in this live that touch and agree with your spirit, and you feel like there are other people who need to touch and agree with this, or just in spaces where there can be more context and nuance added to the conversation, please make sure that you screen record whatever segment or section of the live that inspired you or hit you in your spirit, and share it in those spaces, and make sure to tag me as well. That's going to also help this channel to get out. So on your TikToks, Instagrams, wherever your social media platforms are, I appreciate all y'all for coming through. Shout out to King Deshaun in the building. Shout out to Queen Stevie in the building. Shout out to King Harold, Queen Spicy. Okay, shout out to Rico in the building. Shout out to Let's Talk in the building. Shout out to Double R Russell, got my guy on my hustle in the building. Boy Crazy. Okay, and Queen Donna. It's always good to have Queen Donna in the building. Send me that live if you can. I'm not live, but that video if you can, Deshaun. I want to see it because that might inspire a live for tonight. No shade, because I probably will be coming back. Because baby, this is the era to talk your shit. I'm glad everybody got a microphone. I'm glad everybody got streaming. So I'm glad because at the end of the day, if you ain't gonna talk to me, I can at least hear what you're saying. This is a public platform. That's why I'm saying people do your research, and a lot of people don't. But I do. And I'm gonna show you how it's done. 5'2" and all, bitch. Okay? So until next time, y'all, peace.